Hello students, I hope that you all are safe and fine during the coronavirus pandemic. We do not know when the schools are going to reopen, and therefore I will be sending a recording of one of my chapters to you all. Today I am going to begin with chapter 1, Gravitation in Science 1. This chapter carries 5 marks with option and 3 marks without option. The topics to be covered in this lesson are force and effects of force, Newton's laws of motion. These two topics are based on previous knowledge. Gravitational force, centripetal force, Kepler's laws, Newton's law of gravitation. We are going to derive Newton's inverse law of gravity from Kepler's laws. Acceleration due to gravity, mass and weight, free fall, gravitational potential energy and escape velocity. We are also going to learn to solve the numericals from this chapter. As I said, we are going to begin with a few topics that are based on previous knowledge, and one of such topic is force. Now, what is meant by force? Force is a physical quantity. A physical quantity is any quantity that can be measured. For example, mass can be measured, therefore it is a physical quantity. Temperature can be measured, so it is a physical quantity, and so on. We can measure force, therefore force is a physical quantity. Now, what happens when force is applied on an object which is at rest? When force is applied on an object at rest, it goes in a state of motion. What happens when force is applied on an object which is moving with uniform motion? In this case, the object may come to a state of rest, or its speed may increase or decrease, or its direction may change. And whenever force is applied on an object, the direction of the exerted or the applied force is always in a straight line. So as you can see, the definition of force is a physical quantity, which means it can be measured, that changes or tends to change the state of rest, meaning when force is applied on an object which is in a state of rest, it goes in a state of motion, or of uniform motion, which means when force is applied on an object moving with uniform motion, the speed of an object can increase or decrease, the direction can change, or it might come to a state of rest and in a straight line. So force is a physical quantity that changes or tends to change the state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line. Now, what are the different types of forces that you are familiar with? We know the different types of forces are the gravitational force, the electrical force, electromagnetic force, nuclear force, and so on. We cannot see force acting on an object, but we can definitely see the effects of force acting on an object. Meaning, जब भी हम force किसी object पर apply करते हैं, तो हमें उस object पर उस force का असर दिखाई पड़ता है. So, what are the effects of force on an object? One such effect is that when an object is in a state of rest, the object is set in a state of motion. For example, you can see a boy who is driving a tire with the help of a stick. The tire was initially in a state of rest, but when the boy applied force on the tire with the stick, the tire was set in a state of motion. So what is the effect of force on an object? The object which is at rest is set in a state of motion. Vice versa of this first statement, that if an object is in a state of motion, then we can apply force on the object in order to stop it. For example, you can see that a ball is in a state of motion. So, a resistive force is applied on the ball in order to stop it. So, what has force done on a moving object? It has stopped the moving object. So, the second effect of force is force can stop a moving object. Now, what could be the third effect of force that is applied on an object? So, let's take the example of a cyclist who is driving the cycle with a normal speed. If the cyclist wants to speed up the bicycle, he has to apply a driving force in order to increase the speed of a bicycle. So also, if the cyclist wants to reduce the speed of the bicycle, he has to apply a resistive force on the bicycle in order to decrease the speed of the bicycle. So we can say that the applied force can increase or decrease the speed of an object. Also, if the cyclist wants to change the direction in which the bicycle is moving, then he can apply a force on the handle, thereby changing the direction of the bicycle. So I can say that the applied force can change the direction of an object. This is another example to show that force can change the direction of a moving object. You can see a ball is being thrown towards a player and the player hits the ball in some other direction, thereby changing the direction of the ball. So, force can change the direction of a moving object. Now finally, what do you see when force is applied on a lemon? When a lemon is squeezed by applying force, its shape changes. So I can say that a force can change the shape of an object. So, to sum up, what are the effects of force on an object? The applied force can set an object at rest in motion, stop a moving object, increase or decrease the speed of an object, change the direction of motion of an object, change the shape of an object. We are going to begin with the next topic, Newton's laws of motion. On page number 1 in chapter 1, you can find this question under the tag "Can you recall?" State Newton's laws of motion. Again, this is a question which is based on previous knowledge, and in class 9 we have already studied Newton's first, second and third law of motion. So we are just quickly going to revise these 3 laws in short. We are not going to go in much detail. So let us begin with Newton's first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion is also called as law of inertia. According to this law, an object at rest remains in a state of rest, and an object in motion continues to remain in motion unless an external unbalanced force acts on it. For example, if you see on the screen, there is an example where a ball is at a state of rest. Now this ball will continue to remain at rest till a player comes and kicks it. So the player here applies an external unbalanced force on the ball to set the ball at rest in motion. Similarly, if the ball is in a state of uniform motion, the ball will continue to move unless a force is applied on the ball in order to stop it. Here, we are considering or we are saying that the object will continue to remain in uniform motion. So we are considering that there is no opposing force acting on the body. So what is Newton's first law of motion? Every body continues to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless it is acted upon by an external unbalanced force. Well children, last year we learned a new physical quantity called momentum, and momentum is represented by the letter P. So momentum is the product of mass and velocity of the body. Now in the given example, you can see that there are two masses of 400 kg and 40 kg. So in order to move a mass of 400 kg, more force is required. On the contrary, in order to move a mass of 40 kg, less force is applied. So here we can confer by saying that more the mass, more will be the force applied on the object. Lesser the mass, lesser is the force that is to be applied on an object. The force that has to be applied on an object also depends upon the velocity of the object. Now consider that we are having a bullet and we throw that bullet with the hand on the target. Will the bullet penetrate into the target? Obviously no, because the velocity with which the bullet has been thrown is very less. So the effect of force on the target will also be very less. So lesser the velocity, lesser will be the effect of force on the object. On the contrary, if the bullet is fired from the gun, the bullet moves with a very high velocity and the effect of force that we observe is the bullet penetrates into the target. So higher the velocity, greater is the effect of force. So here P is equal to M into V. Now in Newton's second law of motion, we have studied that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the impressed force and takes place in the direction in which the force acts. Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Well, force of action and reaction act on two different objects. Let us take the example of the bullet which is fired from the gun. So here, the bullet and the gun are two different objects. When a bullet is fired from the gun exerts a force of action on the bullet. So the bullet moves with a very high velocity called as the muzzle velocity. At the same time, the bullet also exerts a force of reaction on the gun, thereby pushing the gun in the backward direction with a small velocity called as the recoil velocity. So Newton's third law of motion is for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.